Wagwan Generals, welcome back to another episode of the Shift Gear podcast. In the background, if you see it, please look away. Do not have express written consent of the NHL to be playing that TV in the background. So hopefully Kira does a great job and crops that out because the game is too good. I kind of need it in the background. I can't differentiate those things.
Aren't we in last place, Aneil?
Yeah, that's what I'm hate watching.
Oh, you're hate watching. Okay, we're trying to tank right now. Are you want us to lose or?
This is the situation. So we traded away our first round pick, but our first round pick is bottom 5 protected.
Okay. So you really have to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we really got to lose. And who do we trade it to? Obviously, the Boston Bruins. And who are we playing tonight? The Boston Bruins. So if they win, I'm happy because we tank more. But it's Boston, so you don't really want them to win. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a conundrum I got going on here. But either way, hopefully the Leafs lose. Been hate watching for a while. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. March Madness, how's your bracket?
I'm in like third place in my friend's like bracket thing. To be honest, I don't watch college basketball like ever. I just literally throw it on during March Madness sometimes. So I was just going on vibes on most of the picks. I'm like, oh, I like the school.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this one feels good. So yeah.
I lost $100 to Gonzaga blowing it to Texas
Nice.
2 days ago. I had man like Dadton put down. He finally signed up for FanDuel, so I got his referral bonus. But they make you rinse it through one time, and so like you got to win the first bet, and it's got to have a certain amount of odds. So I took like Michigan State, which was a lock, Duke, which was also a lock, and then Gonzaga, which was a negative. It was like minus 230. Should have been fine. They lost to Texas, so I lost my $100 from Dadton. So RIP.
Getting your friends into gambling. Bad friend, Daniel.
Hey, to be fair, it was his idea. I just helped him along. I just helped him along. It was fun. But yeah, no, it's been a good week. Something very big happened for me. For those of you who know, I coach soccer and I also play soccer. I'm currently playing 6 times a week, so I'm a little bit sore these days. But coaching soccer is like my pride and joy. And this last weekend, we finally won the championship. The team that I coach. So for context, I coached at the University of Toronto. When I was there, I started in 2016. I played on the top level men's team, and I played there for my 4 years. We went to 3 finals, lost all of them, including one where we were up 2-0 in the 82nd minute and proceeded to lose 3-2 by the time the 90-minute was over. And we couldn't do it. We hadn't won since 2014, and this past weekend rolled around. It was another opportunity. We were up 4-1 at one point, and in typical fashion, we blew it, and it was 4-3. Sorry, it was 4-2 with a minute left in the game. 1 minute, and they scored a quick one through a keeper's legs. I was like, oh, and everyone's just like, oh, here we go. And Kieran, I sent you the video of the other one.
I have it ready to show everybody.
Yeah, this is the goal we conceded. Sorry guys, just to preface this is the last play of the game. All we have to do is get rid of the ball, and this happens. See the ball go in the air. It's a tough task to bring it down, but that touch, and then you see their best player just explode with the ball, bury it, and suddenly we're going to OT, and you can just kind of see the moods kind of drop there, and we're going to OT. I'm like, oh man, not again. Here we go. Like these guys, I can't like over explain how much this means to me. Like this means more than winning a regional for me, because of how long I've been in this. And to see it kind of fall apart like that killed me. But we regrouped. It's a 10-minute overtime period, and we scored with 30 seconds left in the OT to win the championship finally. And so that was my weekend. That's why I didn't go to Houston. I did know that the championship game could coincide on that weekend, and it did. And we did it. And so I will not take off this T-shirt until I have to. But then tonight we went and played intramurals, and we won another chip.
Wow, when it rains, it pours in a good way.
Exactly. It's been a pretty good week. So yeah, no, I've been that was my weekend. Not at Houston because I kind of knew this was a possibility, but some interesting things did happen in Houston. We can talk about those, but I just wanted to kind of good life story for me, and I can finally nothing bad can happen to me this week. Like anything that bad happens, I feel good. I'm bliss. I'm jolly, just in a good mood.
Well, big congrats, Danielle. It's when I was in university, I never won my intramural basketball league. I lost the finals one time, so it's brutal. It's a big dub. I get what you mean. Where you grind, especially with the same group of guys a lot of time for for a while.
Yeah.
So to get that championship shirt, that's always what they give you when you do intramurals. It's like
we get rings too.
You got rings, okay.
We get rings. Ours is serious because this is like the top level team at U of T, like for each campus. So it's a pretty serious league. These guys are at this point, at this stage of my career, a lot better than I am right now because they're playing all the time, they're in shape and all that stuff. And so I coach that, but then this blue shirt is the intramurals. That's like the when we play against those kids that I coach, and sometimes you got to go back and show them Monk still got it. So it was I got a few of these. I think I have like 12 of these shirts, but nice. my first real one. So nice. As a coach, so that's been a good journey for me. It's taught me a lot. I think I don't know. Coaching's so different from playing because you have no impact on the game. Yep. It kills me sometimes, but as happy as I could be, and I could win Toronto regionals, and I wouldn't be as happy as I am with this win. So nice. We have a banquet next week where we get engraved rings with our name, number, and it's got some jewels in it. So they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, I used to coach my little sister's basketball team. I remember we won the provincials one year, and that was like super, super hype. I know what you mean. It's like it's so annoying being on the sidelines, like not playing, and like having like want to pull your hair out, like simple mistakes or something.
Man, it's the worst. Like, oh my god, it's like the worst pain because you're sitting there, you're like, I can't do anything about this. Like, you just want to get out there and kill someone, but you can't. Like on that play, like when we conceded that goal, I wanted to like get out there and just put my foot through somebody just to make sure they don't score. I'll take the red, I don't care. Just make sure they don't score there. That's all we have to do. You can take a red, it doesn't matter, the game's over, just don't let them score. And we let them score. So definitely some things where it's pretty frustrating. I know for you, especially if like you're coaching little kids, it's even more frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, by the time I was coaching, like she was in high school and like I coached her through that, but yeah, like still frustrating. Like it's even like when I watch Pokemon sometimes, like I get secondhand like annoyedness when I watch like a misplay. Like
you watch stream or something.
Not even stream, I don't care. But when I'm in person or like one of my friends is playing, I'm like, because obviously I can't say anything, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was good stuff. That's hype and y'all. I guess what we talked about now matters a lot less. But there was a regional on the weekend. It was the third event in the Ascended Heroes format. Second regional, first one in North America. But the winner was actually not from North America. It was all the way from Japan. Big shout out to Yoshiyuki for taking down Mega Absol. And like pretty interesting top cut. I think pretty interesting metagame overall, which we can break down. But I guess the first thing, Neil, is I didn't see any reports of anyone getting penalized for perfect order Pokepads. So I don't know if just no one was playing them or if just everyone just like collectively decided to not enforce it.
We all just agreed, man. We agreed. We're like, you know what? Like, it's not that deep. It's never that deep. And so I'm glad. I'm honestly like, for once, I know we give the community a lot of slack. Hats off the community, man. Respects. Nobody's snitching on each other. We good. I saw like someone tweet something that their opponent called them, and then someone quote tweeted and said, "That's just playing to your outs." And
I think that's Azul who tweeted that. Like Azul I saw him quote tweet something. Here, let's find it.
It was pretty jokes.
We need content.
But yeah, it seems like it was pretty well behaved over this weekend.
One of my opponents expected my Pokepads when losing. LOL. Gotta play to your
Respects. Actually, not respects. You know what? Nah, I don't respect that. But, you know, class. Either way, it looked like, I don't know, and like a little bit of an aside, like I was kind of watching a lot more stream than I usually do this weekend, and Yoshiyuki played absolutely incredibly. Like every time I was watching the stream and he was on there, just incredibly clean play. And like obviously you have to be very well versed with Mega Box to do well with it, and he was that. He was definitely that. I was watching on my way to your area actually. I was at Poppy and Rosita for happy hour.
Okay.
You ever been there?
I have not. No.
It's a good spot. $5 tacos, $5 margs. It'd be 3 ounces in the margs. Like it'll.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing stars after a few of those guys. So definitely a good time. But I was watching a lot of stream on my way out there, and he was playing beautifully. So not surprising to me to see the win from him, but to see Megabox up there again after all it's been through is definitely eye opening.
Yeah, for sure. I mean. We'll go into the metagame maybe first, because I think it did shake out to be actually pretty good for Mega Box. I mean, Yoshiyuki played, it's kind of funny, he went like full circle and played, I think like the list Tord played at that Vegas regional, I think, when I was looking. Or something very similar. Okay, not exactly the same, but similar idea where it's just like the cornerstone build, double lively stadium. So it feels like we've gone full circle from people playing like the Aries or the Zoroark and Toadscroll, so kind of just going back to the basics here. But I guess my takeaway was I was kind of surprised by how low in meta share a lot of our usual suspects got. Like Gholdengo at 8%, I was like shocked. Gardevoir collectively made up around 8.5%. Charizard dropped to 6%. Everything else stayed more or less the same. I think Zoroark, we were expecting to see it in that 10 to 12% range. Dragapult, we were expecting to see heavy, but I don't know, a lot of the classic decks, I guess, they all fell off in meta share. So do you think it just got all eaten up by Zoroark, or what do you think happened to them, Aneil?
I fear we may have turned the page on some of these. I think they'll come back. I know we talked about this a little bit, but like how people are going to kind of like nostalgia play these last ones for this last regional in Orlando. So I think people will kind of come back to these decks a little bit more, but like the decks that are falling off, Gardevoir, Gholdengo, Charizard, they're all decks that rotate. And maybe it's a good time for them to rotate because it kind of does feel like they're falling off a little bit. I still think like Gardevoir is a fantastic play. I think Charizard in the right I guess it's kind of hard to advocate for when the best deck's 15% that destroys it, but Charizard does feel like if you hit the right matchups, it's also a great play. So like these decks will peak themselves back out. It's just a matter of I think they did get eaten up a little bit by the Zoroarks and like the Munkidori, Frostlass, and all those new decks that are kind of peeking their head out. So I don't think they're dead by any means, but I also kind of came to that realization when I was watching some of these results kind of pan out. It's like it looks like our usual suspects are on the down low a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and some of them still did well. Like Gardevoir here, the win rate was close to 53, a little over 53%. I mean, I think the other thing was a lot of the like fringe, like tier 2 to 3 decks, like they all got like 3 to 4%. Like you can see there, Sarah Ledge went up to 3%, or I think it was been at 1% the last little while. Joltik Box is up to 3%. Crustle, I think, got up to 2%. Yeah, and it converted well. Raging Bolt's up to 4%, right? So I think that as well, or like Monkey Frostlass, for example, got up to 2.5%. So I think a lot of these like fringe decks are also like, you know, it's not a huge meta share, but they're getting 1 or 2 percentage points more than they have been getting. So collectively, I think that's eating away as well as the Zoroark. So I do think this opens a lot of opportunities for a lot of decks, and we'll get through it. So for example, Crustle had a great weekend. I think with Gardevoir going down and play, like that opens the door for like a deck like Crustle to do well. Same with Joltik Box, right? Like Gardevoir is also a hard matchup. So if that's going down, I mean, like Dango is way down in play. We saw Grim have a great weekend, right? So like now it's like, okay, like maybe you can take a loss to Dango, or maybe like you don't have to tech your deck super heavy for Dango anymore, which I guess plays into Dango's favor. But you know, I think it opens up a lot more opportunity and deck building possibilities when there isn't like multiple decks like just at like 15% meta share. So yeah, I think there's definitely room for some wonky stuff to do well at Orlando and Querétaro. And there's also 2 SBs this weekend as well. There's one in Seville, and there's one in Cape Town, I think, actually, in South Africa, if I'm remembering correctly. Nice. I think I saw like Zach on Twitter post that he was in Africa or South Africa.
He is there.
Okay, yeah. So that's why I remember there's. I can't remember if it was in Cape Town or not, or if it's in Johannesburg, but yeah. So there's 2.
South Africa for an SBE is a crazy trek, fam. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it looked nice. I saw the photo from his hotel. You know, he had like the ocean. So I don't know. It's fun.
You know what? If you make it into a vacation, like all the power to you. I just hope it turns into a vacation and it's not just I'm going for the SP to get points. That's a crazy journey for points. But
yeah, I mean, you can combine it, right? Like you go there for vacation and the points. So yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, like if it wasn't so far, like I'd be down to go to South Africa SPE. Like
it's deep though, because you gotta like it's 2. My boy's done it a few times. He said it's like 2 like 8 or 10 hour flights.
It is. I think it's more than that from Toronto. Should we look it up, Aneil?
It's crazy, fam. Yeah, look it up.
Toronto to, I think it's in Cape Town probably. Or let me figure out what city it's in first. Actually, then we'll put it in. Cape Town. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Cape Town.
It's in Cape Town. All right, so here I put a random day. Okay, I mean the flights are cheaper than I thought, bro. $1,300. That's actually not that bad.
Yeah, how far we're going? How far you're going?
22 hours.
So
okay.
One stop, 4 hour layover. That means it's 18 hours in transit.
Yeah, so it's the first flight is 7 hours here. They have us on. The second one's 11 hours. I've done worse than that before.
Yeah. You did Australia once, right?
Yeah, that one was crazy. I think door to door from like my apartment to like my hotel in Australia was like almost 30 hours.
That's crazy.
I flew
That's actually insane.
Toronto, LA, and I did LA to Sydney, I think. But I had a long layover. Like I think the actual flights weren't. It was probably something similar to this. I was looking at like there's Melbourne the week after, because I'm going to Utrecht, I think. And I was thinking, oh, how far is it to fly to Melbourne from Utrecht? And I'm like, oh no, this is too far.
This is deep. This is super deep.
I mean, yeah, this is like a little bit longer. Yeah, it's like 15-hour flight from like LA or San Francisco. So.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because like if you look at the the way that Australia and Canada like trade, and they have like really good like programs for people to work in the opposite countries, you'd think they're right next door. Like you go out to Western Canada and you go to like a mountain town, it is all
It's all
Aussies. Like
Australians, yeah.
completely. And then I have like 3 or 4 friends that work in Australia that moved there from here, and like they have this like crazy program. You'd think they're like right next door, but it's actually as far as you could possibly get, I think, across the world.
Yeah, and the time zone's crazy. I remember one year I flew New Zealand to Vancouver for regionals because I stayed afterwards, and like yeah, like I left at like, let's just say like 12 p.m. in New Zealand, and I landed in Vancouver at like 9 a.m. the same day. Like I went back in time.
Some people do like that's when like I see like Brent and like Natalie and all those fellas like from Australia coming to these regionals. I'm like, you guys are serious. Like
Yeah.
respects, hats off. I couldn't do it personally. Like I like this game. I don't like it that much. I'm not spending 24 hours on a plane to go play regionals, but hey, respects.
Yeah, I mean,
Hats off.
the Australian player base definitely has the worst out of all the regions, just because they're so isolated, right, from like everyone else, and it's so expensive to travel for them, and like their dollars, it's like their dollars basically like ours. It's like pretty weak compared to the U.S. dollar or the euro or like the pound. So, yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I feel like they should probably get more invite slots, or right, like because I feel like if you can afford to go to an IC or even just go to a regional that's not in Australia, you have such a leg up on everyone else. So, yeah, it's definitely tough out there. But I mean, I love Australia when I went the one time. It literally just feels like Canada, but warm. Like is when I went there. And then New Zealand is like my favorite
it's really
place
high on
ever,
my
I
list
think.
too.
Yeah, go to New Zealand though, Neil. New Zealand, like no disrespect to the Aussies, but New Zealand is just like on a different level. Like
All right, say no more.
the most
I'm
beautiful
excited.
place on earth, I think. So,
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out my world's plans right now too. Like I was thinking about like San Fran, and like I haven't been there since I was a kid. I was like, what do I do? Maybe I'll like take a week there and I'll go, I don't know, to the mountains or something. Like I'm trying to figure out what to do. So if anybody has any suggestions of what I should do if I take a week in San Fran, please do leave them down below. I'm a big like mountain nature guy, so like I'd love to take my camera out there and just go shooting, but I haven't been there in like, dude, like 15 years.
because
It's
you
been a
didn't go to
minute
the
since I've been
Worlds that
there.
was there, right?
No, I didn't. I wasn't playing.
So, yeah, that was the last time I was there.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
So, yeah.
My problem is I go there and then I come home, and then within a week I got to fly to Greece. So it's like, I don't know.
Oh, what a hard life, Aneil.
I guess, yeah. It's just like boo-hoo, man, right? Boo-hoo. But like, I'm just thinking of like, yo, do I want to spend? If there's what I'm trying to say is like, if there's nothing that's like actually worth me spending time there, I might just business trip it and come back. So y'all gotta let me know down below if it's worth spending time in like San Fran or NorCal or anything like that. So
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I booked my hotel literally last year because I just know the prices are crazy in San Francisco. So just in case prices spike, I'm like, I have one.
Should I do that? I should probably do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's last time I went, it was one of the most expensive places I've ever been. So,
Oh god.
I mean, it's like where all the tech companies are, right? So, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'll do it up, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah, I should probably go put a reservation down. I booked my world, like I told you, I got World Cup tickets in Vancouver. I booked my hotel like right when I got them, like I don't know, like 6 months ago or 8 months ago. It is ridiculous trying to get a hotel there right now. It is wild.
I was
especially
talking
for
to some
those
people
days.
who want to go, and they said it was like almost $1,000 for most of them, for even like the most basic.
It's 1,000 a
room.
night.
Yeah,
It's nonsense. Like it's absolutely insane. So I like getting there is not that big of a deal. But bro, I'm staying in Squamish, fam. Like I'm staying in like some like random inn in like the middle of Squamish, which is like for those who don't know, like 45 minutes or an hour away from Vancouver. So I'm gonna be driving into BC Place to see Belgium play New Zealand actually.
okay.
Yeah, that week. So hopefully it's a good game, but I think it's one of those like things like it's the World Cup, it's a bucket list item. You gotta just go.
Yep. No, for sure. Yeah, actually I walked by, or I ran by actually earlier today, the BMO field. For Toronto. Like I saw all the stands. Like they're adding all these stands for people like for the Toronto stadium for World Cups. Our stadium's like I think the smallest one probably that's ever hosted a World Cup game. And I'm like, this looks like so flimsy and like sketchy. Like
yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I was there the last 2 weekends with TFC, and like every time I looked at them, I'm like, yo, I would not want to be sitting on those, man. Like you're trying to tell me you're gonna get like some like passion create. Yeah, look at these things, man.
wait, let me get a better photo. Like why can't I pick a photo?
That's a good one. Like it kind of looks like
This one?
that. They're like flimsy, like
these
metal
ones,
stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, you're trying to tell me you're gonna have like some like crazy passionate nations. Like you're telling me you're gonna put like I don't know, like 15,000 Italian guys out there, and you're expecting that thing to stay up? Like there's no chance, bro. I understand they're like very structurally sound and all that, but like it is sketchy when you look at that thing. It's like, yo, I would not want to sit on that. Even though I know it's structurally sound, I'm like, fam, like, it's not worth it. I don't know. We'll see. It's really ugly though, like
Yeah.
super ugly, even uglier in person.
Yeah. I'm in like a million lotteries to get World Cup tickets in Toronto. I don't think I'll get any, but if I get
You're
some,
trying?
maybe I'll go. I mean, like I'm like, why not just enter them, right? Like, I don't think I would pay like resale prices to go, but if I got them for for normal price, I think I would go. So
I actually don't think the resale is going to be that bad now that I'm looking at it. Like, so for my face value, like I bought like the cheapest ones. Face value was 450 each.
okay.
Yeah, like I think the resale they probably like 600-700 for some of like the non
You
like the
think? I think
bad
it'd be
games.
probably like 1,000 plus now.
We have 6 games, and some of them are going to be awful. And I think there's just there are more desirable World Cup cities to go to watch a game that have better games. So I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
like being too optimistic, but there's 45K in the stadium, and plus all that other stuff. There might be some space.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because Canada, we have Canada versus Italy or whoever wins that. Germany's playing, I
Yeah.
think, so that'll have a big. They travel. Actually, my dad's boss, like from when he used to work in Mexico, is like emailed him, be like, Maroon, can you like get me like find me where to buy World Cup tickets? I'm coming to Toronto because this guy's been to like every single World Cup. He goes to watch Germany play a game. So
Sick.
yeah, he's like in his 80s
That's
actually,
respectable.
so he's gonna be in
Damn,
Toronto for
bro.
World Cup. So they travel to Germany.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild out here, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild out here. Sorry for all you guys. We're yapping like crazy today, but
We need to fill the time, bro.
you got to fill the time, man. Like Houston was not that exciting, man. We got to just entertain the people.
I think people like it though. It's like we're also like kind of like bridging we're like half lifestyle podcast now. Just half sports.
Yeah, we also like
There's some
don't
Pokemon
really
in
care
there.
about. Yeah, we don't care about clicks or sponsorship. We don't care, bro. We're just here to have fun. So it's like it makes it a lot easier that way. It's not like we're throwing away our livelihoods here.
Yeah, but we can pivot back to Pokemon for the people who are here for Pokemon, because I think we can probably give them some good insights. I've analyzed the tournament a lot already. So
Yeah,
maybe
we're
we can
okay at the game, I guess.
yeah, we're like decent players, maybe we can start with Yoshiyuki. You kind of alluded that his list was kind of like back to the basics. Cornerstone, I guess. Probably the Cornerstone is in response to, I guess, a lot of Zoroark, right? They have Shred on the Zekrom, but you can try and out heal them with the Munkidori. You have Bravery Charm, because Shred only does 70. If they have Petra and the Mochi, I guess they're doing 110 at a time. You heal once, even if they go Black Belt, they can't knock you out if you have Charm. So I can see you outvaluing them for sure with the Cornerstones. A lot of this decks only play one Zekrom, so if you can knock it out a couple times, maybe. One card we've seen in some lists is the Ice Cream Cone. That's not in this one, but I think if you wanted to even go further in that matchup, I think the Ice Cream Cone could be another addition. But I guess the main takeaway I have from this, Aneil, is do we think Mega Box is going to jump a lot in play over the next couple of weeks? Or do we think it's going to kind of settle in that 4% range we saw at this tournament?
Yeah, I think probably the latter. I would assume. I think like if everything's ticking up a little bit, like it does look like the format's really wide, it doesn't favor these like kind of counter boxes as much, just because you got to counter a wider variety of things. But that being said, I think Mega Box is still a really really strong play. Like you hit the right things, you're coasting, and especially with the right player as the pilot of this, like I think this is the deck that exposes the most like bad play and lack of experience. Like this is not a deck I would touch without like 2-3 weeks of practice on it. Like if you told me right now, yo, pick this up, go play for Orlando, I'd tell you no chance. I think it's just there's so many different situations, there's so many things you got to kind of account for and go through that makes this deck difficult, and I think those get exposed over a long period of time, especially to big tournaments. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna go crazy. I think at the most we saw it at like 8% last format, and I think maybe it could get close to that, but probably doesn't balloon the way it might if it was another deck that won the regionals.
Yeah, like it won EU. I see it in Seattle. It jumped to 8%. So it did seem like this is a deck that a lot of the good players like to favor. But looking at this tournament, I think a lot of them jumped to Zoroark. So it'll be interesting if they jump back to this. So yeah, I mean, like also like Grimmsnarl did really well this weekend. So like this deck like farms Grim. I was looking at Yoshiyuki's matchups. He beat like 5 or maybe 6. I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he beat 6 Grims.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah, it's always funny, like, whenever you look at whoever wins the regionals, like, you click on their name, and, like, you just look at the matchups, you're like, yep, makes sense. Like, obviously, Yoshiyuki played great, but, like, you look at, yeah, 6 Grims, like, 6 pretty much free wins as long as you set up.
Yeah, exactly. It is, I think, there are some lines, but they're not good lines.
Yeah,
they're not good lines.
Yeah. So,
There are chances. I don't know. I've taken quite a few games off these Mega Box guys with Grim, but it's normally due to them making a mistake somewhere. And if Yoshiyuki played perfectly, you can't beat that.
Yeah. So he took out Henry Chow in top 4 after losing to him in Swiss as well. So that was a tough matchup for sure. But yeah, like pretty good run to the finals. Some interesting decks in here. We got some Meganium, we got Iron Hands, and then yeah, the rest is just kind of standard stuff. All right, second place was Miguel from Mexico. Playing Pult Noir. This was actually a bit interesting to me. There was no Munkidori, and like Mirror was the most popular matchup. I mean, Grim was doing really well. I mean, Monkey Frostlass is kind of a deck now. So I was a bit surprised to not see Munkidori in this list. Instead, he's playing like the Turo. Everything else I think is pretty similar to what I've been seeing most Pult lists. So I guess the Turo, kind of respecting retreat lock. Just having the option, I guess, to pick things up is always nice. So I don't have a lot to say about Dragapult. I think we all know it's just like it's always been a good deck. I mean, Pokepad just like buffed the consistency like crazy. So I guess the question, just like going into the next couple weekends is like, all right, are you playing Munkidori or not? Type of thing. So if you were playing Dragapult, Aneil, would you play Munkidori, or do you kind of like this, where you kind of cut it for like a card like a Turo or like another tech card?
Yeah, I think I'm playing Munkidori personally, but like the one thing that sticks out to me is why they might not have is that they did cut that luminous energy. So like this is a really low count of energies here.
But if you add it back, you can just put third luminous, right?
Yeah, so you're effectively gaining 2 spots from not playing Munkidori. So I understand the rationale behind it, especially if you're able to cut a luminous with it, because there's like a lot less pressure on your energies now. Clearly it worked. You're gaining points into other matchups. You can play that Turo. I don't know these Dragapult lists enough by the back of my hand to know what that other card addition is there. But whatever it is, it's probably consistency crutch, and
I think
that's
it's
always good
basic
to have.
energy, no? Like at the third.
Is it normally 3-2-1?
Yeah, I think it's normally 3-2-1, right? We can just check someone else's list. Let's see. Yeah, 3-2-1 normally, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't change that much, but
yeah.
Having less Lumi and more basic is always good as well, right? You don't want to run into that double luminous situation. But yeah, no, looks good, man. I think I'd play Munkidori
into Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost the Grim, which I guess is expected, but I think he went 3-0-1 to Mirror. Yeah, I mean, I think like solid list. He actually beat Alex in top 4. I watched that match. That one was fairly close. So yeah, it was interesting.
List.
Actually, did you see the list that won juniors, the Dragapult Dustnor list?
No, I did not.
Annabelle, so debatably the best junior. She did a little bit of cooking here, and you look at this.
Whoa.
We got a 1-1 Mega Frostlass line in the deck.
That's pretty sick, actually. I like that.
So
that's what does this do though? What is this covering?
Like Absol box, but I guess one thing that actually kind of synergizes is if you use Dusclops or Dustnor, like you put damage and you give your opponent a card in their hand, so it buffs Resentful Refrain. So my guess is it's for stuff like Absol box. I'm sure there's other matchups she thought of. I just thought it was like kind of an interesting deck. And she won juniors.
You can like randomly wipe a Grimmsnarl too, which is pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, she beat Grim in the finals, so yeah. I mean, she beat her brother too in Top Cut, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so I just wanted to shout that one out. That was a cool little innovation there. Come from the younger age division. Yeah, I mean, we had some other Pult Noirs in cut. We had Sammy here. I think he was playing pretty much like the basic list. I think second Hilda over fourth Pokepad, which I think is fine. That's slightly better, I think, into Mirror, just item lock in general. And then who else? We had Gumi 35, World's finalist. He was on like the stock Dragapult list, I think. Actually, he played 2/2 basic energies and the monkey, so maybe not stock. But yeah, pretty just basic list. Good player on Pult. Who did he lose to?
This guy's like dedicated to the game too. You love to see it. He like most Pokemon players that follow me on Insta, like they don't normally post their Pokemon. This guy's always posting a Pokemon on his story. Like, I'm like, yo, respects. Like you're serious. He's like, yo, League Challenge win, Locals win, League Challenge win, League Cup win. I'm like, all right, you're just dedicated to the game. Like respects, man.
Is it a Pokemon on Insta? Instagram?
He's serious.
Maybe it's just his Pokemon.
Yeah, he basically is a Pokemon Instagram.
So that makes sense that he's posting all this stuff.
I don't know, man. Most people that like follow me from the Pokemon verse don't do that, so I have a special appreciation towards this. I'm like, this is sick.
But you know what I feel like is like sometimes like if I'll just like post like if I win a League Cup like the champion mount on my story, and like people don't understand that winning a League Cup is like kind of Mickey Mouse. And they're like, wow, this guy just won like a tournament.
They're like, yo, this guy's sick, bro.
People who don't play Pokemon.
I normally never post Pokemon on my main story. I'll post on my private story sometimes, but there are times where like you do post Pokemon. I feel like every time I go to Worlds, it's like my guaranteed
You
most
gotta
liked
post it.
story ever,
Oh yeah,
right? Like
100%.
it's crazy how much people like eat this stuff up, especially now that it's like more popular. I never liked being known as like the Pokemon guy, but like now I like go out and like I'll be like chilling, or even some of the guys that I coach, I'll go to the university and just chat. And they're like, "Yo, I was trying to learn Charizard online. Like, can you help me?" Like, there's so many more people into this game than there
Yep.
used to be, and a lot of closeted people you never expect. So once you kind of come out about it, so to speak, you get a lot of different people coming out.
Yeah. It's also whenever I post on those stories, like a lot of people who I haven't talked to in like years, like DM me or like my story or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's always funny.
it's pretty good engagement farm.
Oh yeah, it's like major engagement farm. So it's like funny. And then like I've told my friends in real life, like when we meet new people, I'm like don't tell them like what I do for work, because like I'm so tired of like
Yeah.
explaining it to someone who doesn't know what it is, and they're like, oh, isn't it just who like has the best cards? And I'm like, well, actually, like you can build the deck for like $20, like all of that. So
Oh, it's the worst.
yeah.
It's the worst, man. There's a couple times where I've had to explain it in like a club or like a bar setting, and I'm like screaming, and I was like, I'm not doing this, man.
Yeah.
I can't do this. There was a time that we went out. When was this? We were on Ossington, and we went to a bar, and the bouncer was my boy from Pokemon.
That's right. That was in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to City Pool. Shout out City Pool, one of my favorite spots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, City Pool. Right. And then that was the day that Piper and Julian were playing live in the vicinity.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was a day where I learned I need to separate these things. So it's like my boy's the bouncer, but he also plays Pokemon. It's like, Jesus, this world's too small. But yeah, no, it's definitely it opens a can of worms anytime you tell like a random person that you play the game. Like it's definitely difficult to explain, and like, and I don't know about you, but I find that as soon as I like kind of bring up the fact that like you can make some money, people are like way more interested than if you just play the game.
Actually, I had Aneil for the second time in my basketball league a couple weeks ago. The guy on the other team was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of the pod."
Nice.
I was like, for what? Why do two different guys in my league listen to the Shift Gear podcast? Our listening base is like so small, but like
the amount of people that have also like ran, like I've been stopping at malls before. People are like, "Yo, are you the podcast guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like it's crazy how much this spreads, and I think it spreads more than we realize. And then some weeks we come on here as if like we're the only people talking and no one's listening. We spend half the episode talking about like soccer, like BMO Field bad stanchions, and we're like, wait, we actually have an audience. Like, why the hell are we doing this? So yeah, y'all randos, shout out to you guys, man, for real.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't even realize half of you listen to this.
Yeah. So all right, we'll continue with Pokemon here. And the next deck. I mean, I've been high on this deck for a long time. I'm a little I don't know if sad's the right word, but like seeing it do well, I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be on more people's radar before I'm ready to play it. But we had Frostlass Monkey get 2 top 8 slots, and actually they hit each other in top 8, so we could have had even more. So Alex and Joseph, I think Alex had a fairly standard list, but he had the Mega Frostlass, which we've seen a lot of people play. I haven't been really playing with the Mega Frostlass. I kind of like just playing Blood Moon better. But I mean, maybe if Mega Absol is going to be super popular, like maybe you have to play Mega Frostlass just to have a chance. Because I think without it, it's quite difficult to beat. Like you can beat it with the Blood Moon build, but I think the Mega Frostlass makes it a lot easier. There's a Tinglu in here, which we've seen, I think, get really big adoption. But I think the more interesting list was the one from Joseph here. He's also playing the Mega Frostlass, but instead of Tinglu, he's playing Elgyem and the Nighttime Mine. So Elgyem's a pretty cool card. Like, if they put the Neo up or down, you can just like move it to Bidoof or to like Duskull or something. Like, you can like counter catcher like a stage 1 or even like a basic, and then like move the energy on the Dragapult so they can't attach or treat. They put Latios down, then like you can go like Pseudo Wudo, but I guess he only plays 1 counter catcher, so you can't actually do that. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of cool. The Nighttime Mine, you combine that with an Iono, like you can maybe try and stop them, but it's more just a buy turn. So neat innovation. Like there's other matchups where it's useful. In Mirror, I think it's good. I mean, I know he lost, but Morgan's Grim, you can move all their energies, so. Yeah, I don't know. I think a pretty cool take on the deck, Neil. So I know you've also been rocking some Monkey Frostlass lately. So what are your thoughts on the deck and maybe some of these lists that we're looking at?
Yeah, not as much as you. I know you're the guy for this. I kind of played it once, and then I was like, this isn't really my kind of deck, and I kind of put it away. But seeing it do well is really, really cool. I think I always have a special place in my heart for decks like this that can kind of unlock different strategies, and this is more like a spread deck. And I did like in Szymanski's list how he had the 4th Snorunt. I did find that to be a weak point a lot with setting up Mega Frostlass. This helps a ton because a lot of the time, like you'd love to have a Mega Frostlass, but you just can't get enough Snorunts down to to do your freezing shroud ones and your megas, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, I don't have a ton of input to these lists. I think they're kind of shaping themselves out a little bit. I know when we started in this format, they looked quite different to what they do now. So bit by bit, we're getting there. And then I think this deck is legit. Like especially if the counts and play rate of these like top decks remain the same. I think this deck is super legit. You've good matchups all around the board.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's pretty close into Pult and Guardian. Like Grimm's a little shaky. Absol's not that good, but like otherwise, I think you're like good into like pretty much almost everything. Like Zoroark's really easy. Gholdengo's really easy. Like any aggro deck is besides Joltik is pretty easy. So yeah, it's cool to see that doing well. And I guess the other thing, Aneil, is like Grimm did really well this weekend. We had one in the top 8, but we had a lot more in top 32. There was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in top 32. So that's probably the best showing for Grimm in a pretty long time, in my opinion. So we had top 8 Kevin Lin here. He played the No Blood Moon triple Pokepad list, and we'll maybe get to Piper and her group as well. They also played a similar list. I mean, our guy Jackson Ford was in top 32 with the Pokepad list. So I mean, the Shaman's in here, obviously respecting the Darmanitan from the Zoroark, Surge. Otherwise, I think a lot of this is pretty similar to what we've been seeing. Only one Evo, but they played a Charm instead. And I kind of actually like this. Like, with the addition of Pokepad, you can actually afford to like go Badoo early more often because you can just Pokepad to get like your last. So like, you can basically just play like Badoo Frostlass for the first couple turns. And then, try and slow your opponent down. Then once you're ready, then you pivot into the Shadow Bullets. So I do like the Bravery Charm. It makes Badoo a lot more resilient into the other decks that play Monkey. They can't just like do 30 and knock it out. So definitely a cool addition. And then like a lot of times when you play the deck, like you Arvin for like Evo and then box it away and get the second Evo. But if you're playing against a matchup where you don't need the Charm, you can just like get rid of the Charm. So yeah, I think kind of cool there. I mean, if you prize the Evo, I think that does mess up a lot of games, but I think the idea is like kind of worth it. I kind of like this thought process. So pretty cool. Here.
Yeah, it looks cool. If I can just speak to that just for one sec. Yeah, thanks. I think my list is very similar to where this one is at right now. I agree with you in saying that you can probably cut an Evo now. So that was one thing that I was working with one of my students on like before Houston, and he was like kind of like going back and forth between like second Evo, Badoo, whatever, right? I think you're right in the sense that like now that you have Pokepad, you can kind of lean away from Evo a little bit. I did love the fact that Evo in 2s allows you to discard one, as you mentioned. But this is good too. And I think like my list is super similar. I don't play Shaman. I don't play Tatsu. I don't think you need either of them. I kind of just go for the heavier Frostlass and the ever Spike Myth Gym. But I respect the double candy. Huge play here. That's a goated card. But also, I wanted to just call it that Jackson Ford is a cap star because he messaged like I don't know 2 weeks ago. He's like, "Yo, fam, link me the Grimmsnarl guide so I can use it." And I'm like, "Okay, like, are you playing this?" And he's like, "No, I just want to know how to play against it with Charizard." Cap star, bro. Cap star. Bring Jackson Ford to justice. He was trying to mask his play the entire time. Jackson Ford is a snake, and all he wanted to do was play Grimmsnarl the whole time. And he's just as dirty as the rest of us. So, shout out Jackson Ford. Good finish though. Shout out, bro.
Yeah, top 32 with the kind of similar idea here. The 4 Pokepad. He plays the second Evo instead of the.
And you know what's funny about this 4 Pokepad? I was talking to Julian about this, and apparently, like the first event that Piper played at, and maybe this is wrong, but the first event Piper played at was like some absolute Mickey tournament when she posted this 4 Pokepad thing. And because it's Piper, obviously it gains a lot of steam because she's a very, very good player. And I think like people thought like the tournament was like super prestigious or something. This list was something crazy, and everyone started adopting it, and then it ended up actually being sick. Like despite the fact that the tournament that she played it at was Mickey, maybe she knew the whole time, but it appears that the 4 Pokepad is actually low key tough, and it was just there the entire time. I'm still like trying to get my bearings on like this whole like bear nest ball versus Pokepad thing. I think it's like very contentious, but there is a lot of merit to this 4 Pokepad thing. And
yeah,
shut up Piper. Piper again. She's different.
She's goated for sure. I mean, I think now with Gholdengo on the decline, like Nestball and Blood Moon, like that was the main matchup where it really shores it up. And like you can still beat them without the Blood Moon. So if Dengo's at 8%, like I don't think it's that unreasonable to not play Blood Moon right now. So you don't use it. I took some games,
stats. So. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I took some stats a while ago, and like I was using Blood Moon like 2 in every like 20 games, so it was like 1 in 10 basically. And just like the threat of it sometimes was enough to like get my opponent to do something different because they recognize that Blood Moon is a thing. So you almost like were setting up for it, but never actually used it a lot of the time is what I found. And in those like 1 in 10 games, they're kind of games where I'm like, all right, I might lose this anyways. So I don't think cutting it is like the worst thing in the world, especially when you're cutting it for, again, more consistency. 4 pad is definitely better than a nest ball and a random bear that you're going to start 1 in every 10 games, right? So
Yeah.
I think there's value to it.
Yeah. Is Elaine playing Pacopia behind you?
Yeah, she is.
Bro, I want to play the
Dude.
game so badly, but I'm like, I do not have the time to start this game because it's the type of game I know where I'd get too sucked in. Like,
Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of fun. I was having a lot of fun with it, and then I kind of hit a wall, and I just kind of put it down the last little while. Like
mm,
she's super into it. She's at like I don't know, like 30 hours already. I think she's on like the 5th area. Like I'm kind of just like lagging behind. She's like, "Oh, what do you mean you don't have the frying pan? What do you mean you don't have this guy unlocked, that guy unlocked?" I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not as big of a like Animal Crossing build my paradise kind of guy. But it definitely has charm to it. And I think
yeah.
when you start it, like you'll really like it, and you'll either go down one of two paths. You either get like super addicted, or you're like, all right, what do I do now? This game is starting to feel pointless. So
Yeah.
it depends.
I love those games. Like Stardew Valley, I had a huge Stardew Valley phase, and then when I
Yeah,
got my friends into it, we had like a friend farm, like where you can do co-op, and then
the
Animal
co-op, yeah.
Crossing came out in COVID, so like I think that's probably why I played it a lot. But I've always liked the Animal Crossing. Uh, but then like I also saw that like the Pokemon they gave them like personalities and stuff in this game. Like everyone's like, "Yo, we need Mystery Dungeon back," because I'm like, "Yeah, we do need Mystery Dungeon
Dude,
back. Yo, get us
oh, we
or
need it so
remake
bad.
Explorers of Sky." Like they remade the original ones on the Switch. I'm like, "Yo, give us Explorers of Sky remake." So
Yeah. Oh man, I would die for one of those. The personality thing is cool, but it doesn't have as much depth as Stardew Valley. Like I'm just like you, like a huge Stardew Valley nerd. Like I have tons of hours and hundreds of hours. But Stardew Valley had more depth for me. Like each character had like their own individual story, and like while the Pokemon do have personalities, they don't necessarily have their own story. Like, there's not a lot of interactability besides saying like, "Hey, you happy? No, okay, let me like improve your habitat." And like some of them will teach you things, like they'll give you some things, but
yeah.
um, their personalities are like they're cool, but then eventually you're like, okay, they all are kind of the same.
Yeah.
Whereas Stardew Valley, like you go talk to Clint versus you go talk to like Pierre, you're like two completely different people.
Bro,
So I don't know.
I saw a Concerned Ape, like the guy who makes Stardew, he's getting flamed because I think in
Yeah,
the next update you can marry Clint and everyone hates
it's
Clint.
already out. You can already marry Clint.
And you can who's the
1.7.
other person you had? I think it was Sandy, right?
No, it was Clint and oh yeah, no, sorry, it was Sandy. It was
Yeah, yeah,
Sandy.
yeah.
She's the lady that runs the coconut
In the
shop, right?
desert, yeah.
Yeah. Who the hell's marrying Clint, bro? No
That's what
one's
I'm
marrying
saying,
Clint.
bro. Okay,
Like,
who
actually
do you
listen to
pick when
this.
you play Neil? I'm actually curious.
I didn't pick anybody, but the like I've only had one run through,
Ah, okay, okay.
and it was that like the rock girl with the blue hair.
Abigail? Or that's her name, right?
No,
No?
what the
Or
hell's her
Emily,
name? It
Emily,
wasn't
Emily,
Abigail.
Emily.
Yes, 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 yes. The astrology girl was the one who like I got to the fastest, and I was like, hey man, you know what? At this point, I'm a digital pixelated character. I'll take what I can get. I don't have much riz in this game. Like, I'll take what I can get. So I married her, and then she does like rock rituals and some other weird stuff. But you know, we get along.
There's actually I don't know, you definitely haven't done this, but if you get all the characters like 10 hearts, like they have like
Yeah.
a meeting together and like they like basically like all like break up with you at once for dating all of them.
Really?
If you if you do it all.
Dude, that's sick. I kind of want to hop on now and do that. Some of the interactions are so funny, man. Like the one with the army guy when he has like PTSD and like you can catch Pierre. Is it Pierre? Yeah, it's Pierre and Marnie in the bush if you go at like a certain time. Some of them are so funny. And
Wait, no,
like
it's
the
not Pierre.
guy who made
I think
it.
it's the mayor, isn't it? Like
Sorry, it's the mayor.
is it,
Yes,
no,
it's
is it
Lewis.
yeah, Lewis, there you go.
Yeah, you catch Lewis and Marnie in a bush at 11:55 p.m. on Wednesdays or something. Like it's so dumb, bro. But like the guy who made it, I watched like the full documentary of like how
Oh,
he made the
he's
game and
goated,
stuff.
bro.
Inspirational. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, Eric
He took
Barone.
like 6 years of just like not having a job and made this game. It was so cool. If you guys haven't played Stardew Valley, like I'm so dead ass, like you got to go play that game.
Yeah, it is so
Um,
good.
I started because it was available in my car. Like the Tesla Dash has Stardew Valley built into
It's
it.
like while you're
So
driving, you're just ripping stuff.
you can't do it while you're driving, but while you're parked or charging, you can actually connect a PS5 controller to your car and play Stardew Valley. So I was just gaming, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna buy this for my Switch. And then, bro, it's a slippery slope, man. You start playing that game, oh my
Yeah, it
god,
has a really addicting gameplay loop for sure.
yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah. But yeah, no, go to game. You guys got to play it. It's
they
not. It is like Pokopia, but not completely like Pokopia.
yeah. They had like I almost went last year. They had like the symphony, like the Toronto Symphony. They did the Stardew Valley when
Yeah.
it came. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go. But the tickets were like $250. I'm like, okay, like that's a little steep. Like,
Yeah, for that, you've probably seen it on like the Shift Gear YouTube watch history. Like sometimes I'll just put on like Stardew Valley like themes in the background, just like the lo-fi, and I just game to it or whatever. Like
yeah,
this music is so
it's so
good.
good. Yeah, it's like so impressive that
Yeah,
like one guy did it all. But
yeah.
we'll get back to Pokemon. Lots of filler this episode, but I think good filler. Like we're putting people on the good
We
stuff.
need Mystery Dungeon back, man. That's not
Yeah.
even filler. That's just fact. Like you want to talk good music? Oh my god,
Yeah. Okay.
so
Other
good, man.
Graham list I want to look at, Neil, from Andrew Hedrick. You know, not on Pult. Pult gets a buff. This guy's like the biggest Pult head, and he's on Grim instead. But his list is
Yeah.
really interesting. There's no Arvin in this list. It's just 4 Lilies, 4 Research, 4 Iono. No Devo either, which I guess you're not playing Arvin. So, yes, there's a more consistent approach. I guess more aggressive with the Research. I mean, more Iono proof. I think. You know, a Research also like kind of thins your deck throughout the course of the game. So. I don't know. No boss either. So, Neil, what do you think about this take on Grim?
It's not my favorite. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. Like my biggest thing with Grim was like the fact that you're able to just get so much consistency out of it with Arvin and Evo and picking out rare candies and secret boxes and stuff. This list doesn't really have that. And like the problem with Grim as well is like there are a lot of pieces that you need at different points of the game. So like I can't even imagine how many times he probably discarded like Monkey Energy or Frostlass or Morgrem or Grimmsnarl before he was wanting to discard it. And obviously, it's a great iteration of the deck. I'm sure he did very well with it, and like I would want to try it out before I pass any real judgment on this. But it definitely sticks out to me that you don't have Arvin, you don't have Boss, and I think those are two very, very important cards in this deck. And you also don't play Devo, so there's one huge line that you just don't have.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it though. Like, there's double Bidoof. Like we're saying, like there's 4 Pokepad in the deck, so like you can still get your guys, right? And you play high
Yeah,
counts of all the Pokemon, so it's not that hard to draw into them, right? Like you have 4 monkeys, 3 of each of Snow and Frostlass. Like you obviously have Spike Myth to assist you in getting the Grim pieces. I mean, like even before Lilies came out, like Grim, like we just played it with like the 4 Research instead of the 4 Lilies, and like we've kind of had those issues with like discarding stuff. Like the deck was worse before Lilies, so
yeah,
I don't know. I think I kind of like it. Like, it is kind of weird. There's like some like 1 candy, 1 charm, 1 balloon. Like it's kind of hard to draw those at the opportune time. But I guess it's basically just like when you get the box, like you have those options. So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Like boss is like good in Grim, but like a lot of the games I win without it. But like a lot of games, like boss kind of feels like all right, I win on the spot once I have this. Like against Guardy, if I get boss, I'm like game's over. Like against Pult, if I boss the Drake Click with energy, I'm like all right, game's over. But like
yeah.
you can win a lot of games without it. And I guess like if you're playing this heavy draw with the double CC, like I'm sure you can just like draw one of them, I guess, over the course of the game against aggro stuff. And he's taking this like Bidoo approach, I guess. So it's like, you know, maybe your opponent knocks out your Bidoo, you get the counter catcher like while you've gotten set up. So I don't know, I think there could be something here. I actually kind of like this build.
I think it's like less about the fact that there's no boss and more about the fact that you can't pick out tools. I think that's the big one for me. And I don't know. To me, like I'm just so reliant on Arvin when I play this deck. I can't imagine playing without it. And like the concept of just not having Devo removes a line in your deck, and then you also don't have Heavy Gust. So like normally you have one or the other. It's either you have Heavy Gust to go pick off the prizes that you need to win the game. You pick up the Latias, you pick off the Gardevoir, whatever it is, or you Devo and you go through everything and you just say, hey, I don't care about gusting. I'm eventually just going to kill your whole board. This one kind of has neither. So like again, like I said, I don't want to pass judgment before I play it. I'm going to try it. I'm sure there's some hidden benefits to it, but those two things stick out to me. It's like I feel like you just lose a lot of lines.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool though. So
Yeah, it is super cool.
definitely unique. All right, we can maybe next go. I mean, Gardevoir did like okay. I mean, I was looking at like a lot of the people who were in the top cut with it. A lot of names I recognize who've been playing a lot of Guardy, and then no surprise, Mr. Chow is the highest placing of them all. But his list was actually a bit weird, or not weird. That's not the right word, but I guess like different than what he's been playing for a while. You know, like he's playing his like classic, like his Screamtail, like Frillish, like straight Guardy list. There's double Evo in it, so I think in double Arvin, so like really respecting Pultnor, I think. There's a Devo. There's only 1 charm in here as well, which I know Henry's always enjoyed playing lots of charms. So I guess the Devo I think is there for the Zoroark matchup. It gives you some more lines. I think there. I still think it's kind of hard to Devo them, but I guess maybe you set up a Screamtail. You can like punch a bunch if you get the Frillish going. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Is this like now the new de facto Guardy list? Is everyone just going to start running this? You think for people who play straight Guardy?
Yeah, I was talking to McConaughey after the tournament, just to kind of get his thoughts on. He played something very similar. He said the Devo is pretty cool. Charm is probably still better, he thinks.
Mhm.
Just because like I think I agree with that statement because the Devo is cool. Like you gain a couple lines into like Dengo randomly and like Zoroark and Grimmsnarl as well, which I think is a big problem for this deck. You gain some lines there, but you also just don't have a second charm. I think the list is so tight that you would absolutely love to have that second charm.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, yeah, me personally, I've actually been in the lab with this deck a little bit. Like, I don't really think I'm going to play Grim for Orlando at this point. Not because it's not good. I think it's actually really, really good. I just want to play something different and something that's going to rotate. So I've been working on a little bit of Gardevoir, and I haven't been able to figure out the Grim matchup yet. And I think Devo is definitely something I'm going to investigate. I was up really late last night, or sorry, really early. I just couldn't sleep.
Mhm.
And I eventually like spawned on TCG Live at like 4:30 a.m. with an Espathra EX in my deck. So I was really
Nice.
going through it. There's is Gardevoir with a 1/1 Espathra. So I'm really in the lab trying to figure out this matchup. But I think Devo is a very good start to that. So that is one really good thing that I think I would keep Devo for. Does it solve the matchup? Probably not, but it definitely helps.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's just cool. I mean, Henry's always going to be in the deck.
Better than Espathra, I think.
Yeah. I guess the next topic probably, Neil, is like the newest kid on the block, Zoroark. 4 in ASIM, only one got through the top 8, but I mean, second most played deck of the tournament. So we can break them down, and maybe we can decide like what list we think is going to be the most popular going forward. So I think, Liam is, I think, unquestionably like the best Zoroark player, the innovator of the deck. And he took a very different approach than I think what we were seeing from a lot of people. There's no Darmanitan in this list. There's no Petrant in this list. There's no Mochi in this list. Instead, he went for the Toadscruel, like the 1/1 line, and an Elgem. So, 2 Elgems in top 8 this weekend. Art is sneaky good. There's Rosic Machination in here as well. So a little more control style, I guess, Zoroark. So, I mean, I know you've played this deck a bit, Aneil. What do you think about this take on it compared to, just playing a more traditional, like Petrant and Darmanitan list?
Bro, I love this. I love this so much, man. The Petrant like emoji thing is super cool. All right, like it has its pros, but I've always been a huge fan of this like control-y type Zoroark. This is when I feel like Zoroark's at its best, and because you're able to hide behind these 280 HP guys, and your opponent can't go around it to pick off a Petrant, none of that stuff. Obviously, you lose a little bit of reach. You can't reach as much without the Mochi. But I think it's really, really cool. And I really like the way he built this deck. It's super control-y. Like you have the Nighttime Mine, which is a cool card as well. Just throwing off some of your opponent's Terras. There's Defiance Band, which is not a card I really expected to see in a Zoroark deck as well. And then you have Elgium, which kind of holds you back. And I've seen the way Liam thinks about Zoroark. He thinks about it at such a high level. It's insane. Like he really has a good grasp on what this deck is. And I remember reading Piper's Zoroark guide as well. And she mentioned in there somewhere that she was like, Zoroark is like 99% this base list, but like where you're going to gain points on other people is just like rounding out the final 6 or 7 cards. And you can see with Liam here, and like I think when it comes to building Zoroark, you have so many options for those final 6 and 7 cards. I think Liam hit it right on the head. I think these are a perfect set of techs. You have Toadscruel to deal with Gholdengo, deal with really anything. It's just a good card. Zoroark to keep your opponent's hands in check. You have Elgium to shore up some of your matchups. You have Nighttime Mine to deal with some other stuff. And at the end of the day, you're still a control Zoroark decks. You're making your opponent's life super hard with this build. And you know how much Zoroark's been around, so people have been quite prepared for the Petrant Darmanitan business. So I'm a big fan of this. I think going forward, if I were to play Zoroark, this is definitely where I'd start.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. I watched this match in ASIM. The Toadscruel definitely went hard against Josh's Gholdengo deck. So yeah, I think like you said, like the control package, I think just adds to the ceiling of it. Liam's obviously like such a good player, so really really cool list. He lost to Dragapult, I guess, in top cut or top 8, which is I think the matchup's fairly close. So I'm kind of I would have been curious to watch that one, but I don't think Liam's list is going to be like mass adopted necessarily, because I do think it's trickier. Like I think there's less margin for error when you're like playing like that. Like you can't just run someone over like you can with Darmanitan, but super super good. I mean, the rest of the list I think were more what we were expecting. We had actually Toronto legend Robert Simpson, local legend here. Get into ASIM. He played a classic like just 1/1 Darm line. I mean, we've seen like Serrano, Janine from some of the Brazilian lists, so definitely taking from there. And then there was a couple more here with Eric and Lewis. Again, another 1/1 line. They actually all might have just been playing the Brazilian list here, I think. And then Lewis I think had 2/2 when I looked. Yeah, he was playing 2/2 with the Serrano. So everyone else is playing. I think these are more like what I would expect I had no rush in this one, yeah. But I think these builds are closer to what I would expect, like the majority of people to be playing. And then maybe some of the top Zoroark players are going to be on with Liam's playing, right? So like if you hit your Zings, like who else is in that group? Like I guess Liam, obviously. I don't know who else was playing the deck in that group, but
Labella,
that's right. Yeah, like so those guys.
Yeah,
for sure. So, yeah. And then the only Dango that made top cut was Josh with his secret box list, and he's been doing really well with this deck. He got top 4 at Merida. He did pretty well at UIC. I think he started like 8-0 or something, and then like obviously getting to ASIM here. So, I think again he calls it agency Dango, which I guess like one of the problems with Dango is when you fall behind, it's kind of hard to come back. So the box with that Watchtower Iono package does give you a little bit of comeback potential. And he had the low punny, so like prepared for stuff like Toad Scroll or Cornerstone or the Rise of Crustle. So I don't know, this might be the best way, I guess, to play Gholdengo. I mean, I guess if we think Mega Absol is going to go up and play, like you kind of, and if people are just going to copy the Cornerstone list, you probably have to play low punny. Or if we think Crustle is going to go up and play, which we can talk about maybe next, like low punny is probably the way to go. So yeah, I like this list.
Yeah.
I know that Secret Box has done well with a lot of the European players, but like I never liked playing it without playing like the control cards with it. So I think Josh's build like utilizes the Secret Box the best out of any of the Dango builds.
Yeah, I agree with your takes. I have nothing to add with Gholdengo.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk LDF out of playing it last night.
Yeah.
Because he just keeps playing Dengo. He loves Dengo. I like respect. He loves Dengo. But then he plays Dengo and he's like, oh my God, I'm never playing Dengo again. And then he plays it for the next regional again. So
nice.
Just, doing my due diligence to our boy who no longer has a YouTube channel.
Did he not get it back yet?
Oh, I don't know. Did he? Maybe he did.
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah. I like that video we found last week.
That was a good one. Little Dark Fury. No, it's not that one.
Dude, it's still not back? That's crazy.
Because this is his other one.
Yeah, it's the one with the goated video.
No,
this
I
is
think
cooked,
it's back yet.
man.
Man, that sucks. Well, hopefully Matt gets it back soon. So.
Yeah, it's bro's livelihood, man. No wonder he's been so active with his Gholdengo in the group chat. He's got nothing else to do. He's off work. He's like PTO, man.
Gotta actually play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Forgot how Mike worked, and we had a quick cut there. My apologies. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, man. They got me going into the office twice these days, and my brain's mush most of the time. So forgive me. Anyways, so we're nearing kind of the end here. So like initial thoughts about what this whole thing is. I think we both agree this is a wider metagame that you got to be prepared for a little bit more. Where do you kind of see this ending up?
I mean, I think the meta share percentages for like the decks, like they maybe just stay around this. Like, I think maybe Mega Absol goes up a little bit. I think maybe some of the fringe decks, like you might see Crustle go up a bit more. I think Frostlass Monkey might go up a bit more. I mean, like, Crustle was one thing I want to talk about briefly. Is like its win rate was up to like 54%, and I don't know if you saw its conversion. His conversion was 38%, which is like nuts.
That's wild.
It had a lot of day twos and not a lot of like success at the top, which I think makes sense. Like Crustle's a hard deck to really elevate. But this like build, this like 4/4 Crustle build with like the spiky energies and like all the 4 ice cream cones has been doing really well lately. So, I think this is a deck if you're trying to day 2. You want minimal effort, you probably just like send the Crustle right now.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But yeah, otherwise I think just the metagame at large, I think we've seen like maybe it's going to settle in here now. Like yeah, I don't think we'll see big shifts. I think Dragapult will continue to see play. I mean that has a loyal player base. The deck's very good. I mean Zoroark has been again, proven that it's a really good deck, so I think that'll continue to see, in that 10-12%. I think Dango, I wouldn't be surprised if it crept back up to like maybe like 10%. But I think we'll have this weekend in Seville and Cape Town, and we'll kind of see like what happens, and then maybe something interesting happens, and that'll kind of shape the meta a bit more for us. But yeah, I think it's like you said. I think it's just a bit more wide now, which is a bit annoying because you're gonna hit more random stuff, and it's kind of hard to prepare. But in terms of like metagame healthiness. I don't know about you, Neil, but I actually think this format is like one I think the best I've ever played. Like I actually really love it. I'm really sad that we're rotating and that we're gonna lose it in a couple weeks here. So
yeah, this is one of those legacy formats. I think this is one we'll come back and build for sure. I don't know. Like I also think we're at that time of year right now where people are coming to terms with what their outlooks are looking like. So there are a lot of people who are like, okay, I really like the game, I'm having fun, whatever. So you get a lot of people playing more of what they like and less of what the meta is. I do notice that at the beginning of most years, the top meta decks are definitely at a higher percentage of play. just because people are like starting the year, they want to do well, so they're giving themselves the best chance to win. I do think we're at that time of the year now where it's kind of getting a little bit more for fun. So we're seeing some different decks pop up, and you can kind of see like when someone does well with a niche deck, there's a lot of potential to blow up, and you can get famous for playing a niche deck, or you can sell something about it, or whatever. Like there are other benefits that come with playing a niche deck to a good finish. I think people see the value in that as well, and I think a lot of people are kind of picking up some different decks, trying to make some ground waves, and I think that's what's going to happen the rest of the way, right? NAIC is one where, I mean, I'm guilty too. I played Cynthia's Garchomp last year. Like, you just want to go and you just want to have fun. So I think the meta just gets thinner and thinner, and you'll see like way more wide metas, I think, the farther we go in the year.
Yeah. So, yeah, good format, interesting tournament. We got a couple coming up. I mean, you and I will be playing. You're playing Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be there. I'll be in Mexico. So you and I will both be playing at the different ones. So I'm curious if the metagame will be like that different at Orlando compared to Querétaro. Maybe a bit different.
I think it'll be super different because Orlando is massive.
Yeah, it's going to be like what, like 3,000 plus probably?
Dude, it's still open. Like
you can still sign up
right now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that convention center is huge. Like if it's the same one that they always have it at.
Orange County, yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, it's also Orlando. Like, so it is my birthday weekend, so I decided to go, and we're at a resort. Like, it's going to be super cool. I'm not even there to play Pokemon at this point. I'm just there to kind of chill, play mini golf, have fun, like I told you last week.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that whole aspect is really attractive to people, too, because it's in a popular spot. It's pretty cheap.
Families can go to Disneyland or Universal.
Exactly. So I think there's a lot of people in the same boat as me where they're like, whatever, man, it's Orlando. Let's just go have fun in Florida and warm weather towards the end of winter. So there's going to be a lot of human beings there. So I do think the meta is going to be completely different to what you see on your side. I think it's going to be a lot more, maybe a little bit more concentrated towards the top. I find in these big tournaments, people tend to play the biggest deck just because they want the best chance to run across like lesser skilled opponents since there's a bigger field.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Not really too sure, but definitely is going to be different, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, next week we'll break down the results from the SPs. We'll get us prepped for our last tournament before rotation. And then we're gonna rotate. The game is gonna change like crazy. I think probably the most significant rotation I think I've ever been a part of is about to happen. So we're talking about that, I guess, in a couple weeks. So I have nothing else to cover today, Neil. If you have anything else you want to say, floor is yours. But otherwise, we can maybe end off here.
No, I think we're good. It's gonna be interesting, man. This rotation is gonna be crazy, but we'll have a post-mortem for all the cards we're losing for rotation. That'll be one of our episodes leading into rotation. We can kind of go through everything we're losing and rank them, where they land in the legacy rankings and all that stuff. That'll be pretty fun. But that is all I got. Thank you everybody for being here, and I guess we will see you next week. Peace out.
Later.